I'll say this. I also don't plan to visit my daughter after I pass in the form of any animal. So,
No.
she'll figure it out, piece it together.
I think he's too busy I think all of his friends died also. So I think he's in heaven, got a whole new family. I think he got a whole new set of kids. My father was an attractive man. He probably got pussy galore up there.
Whoa. I didn't know you could get pussy in heaven. I'm back in.
Yep. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another phenomenal episode of My Mama Told Me.
The podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of Black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove that Floyd Mayweather can read. Specifically, he reads Braille. That's why he be punching them lumps in everybody's head. He's trying to communicate. Men, women, he punches everybody because he's trying to talk to us.
I'm not going.
You're not going to join me on this one?
I'm not. He can't read, and it's a problem.
Okay, you're just fully committed to... So he's just beating up women because he hates them, not because he's...
Well, it's the lack of knowledge about the world because he can't read.
He pays his friends to read for him. That's why he's always flashing that money.
Oh, that's a smart... I like this conspiracy.
I like that take, yeah.
He's just now hired readers for him, and that's part of the money team.
To compare, Snoop Dogg has a guy to roll his blunts for him on salary.
Sure.
More than $50,000 a year, so why wouldn't Homeboy have the same facilitators?
Well,
I think
one
you're
of those
right.
is far less embarrassing than the other, but I hear you. I'm listening.
How much does he have to read in a day? It's probably a pretty easy job.
Sure. He's not driving himself, so he does stop signs. He can avoid that.
What's he eat? The same 6-7 things over and over?
Right.
That's true. And he probably has a SAG card that whatever he gets any emails for work, forwarded to your team. So he doesn't have to read for work or nothing.
The money team writes his emails.
And when you go to restaurants, they just tell you the specials. It's not like you got to read them shit. So if he wants steak tartare, he just got to listen.
I learned a trick from people who can't read. It's that they always go to the same restaurant.
How many friends you got that can't read? All my friends can read.
I have 2 friends with grandpas who can't read.
Oh, okay, family. Yeah, my grandmother was not a big reader, so I see what you mean.
A big reader is a nice way of you're being very respectful of your grandmother. We're talking about people who are illiterate.
Yeah, he can't. These guys cannot read.
But here's the thing: don't he have a wife or a woman?
Floyd Mayweather?
Floyd, doesn't he have a partner?
Not one that he respects, I don't think.
If he did, then that woman is reading everything. You know how it go down in a coupledom with Black people. She's reading every word for him.
I wish I could find a woman to read for me.
So you sling that dingling properly, I'll read everything you need.
Ooh, that's a great option.
You got to get bone right to help you with literacy.
You're already hearing our guest's voice. We had a full conversation about reading and slinging dingaling. She's fantastic. She's so funny. You know her from her brand new special on Amazon. It's called Menopause. She's hilarious. I'm so happy she's here. Give it up for our guest, Miss Jackie Fabulous. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah. Thank you for having me.
We're so happy you're here. This is going to be, I think, an exciting episode because you came in hot. You came in. I gave clear parameters, and you said, "Fuck that! I'm in. I'm jumping in right away."
I'm sorry. We love after a while, you lose podcast etiquette after a few of them. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, this is perfect etiquette. This, and Bori, I think you can speak to this. This podcast is chaos.
We're not proper.
No, we don't follow a lot of rules. So anybody who instinctively jumps in that way, we know it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, now I know you can swim with the sharks. We'll be just fine.
A few female comic is always the only one amongst dudes. So this is regular for me every day.
Hell yeah.
And we're barely dudes.
I'm just a boy trying to get by. You know what I mean?
I haven't touched a tool in at least 3 years.
What's funny is I do in fact watch whenever like something needs repairing around the house. My wife is the one that does it, and I'm like, I do the lifting. You know what I mean? Like I'll carry the box to the place, and then she does the actual like work.
Yeah, I get it. I see the silk on your shirt. I understand.
Yeah.
You're
That's
delicate.
more important to me than fixing. That's more important because my suitcase, I don't want to. I shouldn't. My nails should never break off because I'm lifting shit. That's
right.
the job.
Yeah, I'll lift all day. I'm strong, but
that's the relationship I want. You read for me, I lift for you. That works.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid
deal. That's filling each other's gaps.
You gotta get you one, man. You gotta get you one.
A reader? Yeah,
a reader. All right, we can't shenanigans any more than we already have because, Jackie, you came to us with a conspiracy theory that I'm extremely excited to jump into. You said, my mama told me.
When someone dies, they come back as a stray insect or an animal that keeps coming around.
Tell me more.
My family is Jamaican, and I think we have a lot of similarities to Haitians, where a lot of us are nuts. You know, we believe in witchcraft and voodoo and spirits, and they call them duppies where I'm from, my family in Jamaica. So when I was growing up at my grandma's house in the country, because people would die all the time, and I wouldn't know or care because I was really young. And my mom would be like, you see that butterfly, that fly that's here every night, that's your Uncle so-and-so. Or there's a dragonfly or a stray cat, or a bat. When I was back in the day, they're like, no one really dies. They just come back in a different form. And if they like you, they'll come chill with you and make your life, better. If they didn't like you, they'll haunt you. They'll be an asshole to you. But this is just part of like the West Indian culture and believing in the other life. And now other life is really a part of our life.
Whoa. Okay. Well, first of all, let me start off by saying Wagwan. Wait,
are you West Indian too, Langston?
No, I just know proper etiquette. I say hello the way you're supposed to. How do you say hi in Sierra Leone? I'll start greeting you that way.
Oh, we say couche.
Couche.
Couche, oh.
Okay. Hell yeah. We'll start off that way from now on.
Oh, this is good. My mom's going to love this podcast even more.
So, okay. These various insects, animals, whatever it is, are being assigned to certain people, and your mom is saying, "Yo, that is your Uncle Butterfly." Whoever is, how does she come to that conclusion? Where is she getting this feeling?
Can I interject that I don't think any Jamaican man wants to come back as a butterfly? I don't.
Why? You don't know that? First of all, they have a Jamaican, a West Indian, Calypso, Caribbean, whatever you want to call it, dance called the Butterfly. If you ever used the club back in the day,
I'm gonna YouTube it.
That was West Indian.
The butterfly when you
that was
butterfly when you dance and put your legs in. When you dance and turn your knees in and out. I
thought that was Moesha. I didn't think that was.
I did think that was invented on the Steve Harvey
show.
In
Jamaica world is the butterfly.
Damn, I did not know the butterfly was Jamaican. This is a big thing.
I didn't know that either.
Look it up. It might be both, but I know when I was doing the dance at nightclubs, it was called the butterfly.
No, I remember it being called the Butterfly. I'm saying
it was a big dance.
That the origins, I had no idea that the origins were West Indian.
Well, I don't know, or I'm just telling you what I remember when I was going dancing. The origin I did not research.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I don't want to be incorrect, but you never know. A black man might want to come back as a beautiful butterfly. Men have changed, honey. They're not that scared of their inner femininity or whatever.
That's true. Like I said, I don't have any tools, and Langston can't read. We're new men. We're new men.
Yet, I'll get there. You give me my shot. And I will say that I've seen enough Jamaican men wearing mesh tank tops to believe that they would, in fact, come back as a butterfly.
That's true. That's true. And it's a requirement when you reach a certain age to have a mesh wife beater or tank top. We can't call that anymore, can we? You can't do wife beater.
You know what's funny?
You
is
can't.
is
You shouldn't.
they haven't come for it really. You know what I mean? Like I think that's almost
Slightly.
our morality being like, oh, that feels icky now. But like it's not
Yeah.
like society was like, get that the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's been no movement. There's been no real heat. But we all kind of in our hearts are like, I bet you that's wrong now because
Yeah, I
that's the way the
bet.
world is.
I bet any day now they're gonna take our wife beaters from us.
That's my line. You will not take my wife beater.
One day you're gonna be in Target running errands in a wife beater, reminding you a bit, and you're gonna get beat the hell in the parking lot. Not know why.
I would go to Target in a wife beater, so that's a possibility. It's an outside shirt too.
Yes, it is.
It's an outside shirt too.
Undershirt and outside shirt.
I feel like we lost our footing a little bit, but I'll ask the question again. How did your mom or whoever come to assign these various animals, insects to the people who had passed?
I believe my mom was taught it from her mom, but how she assigns it, just the how prevalent and how frequent whatever new creature, insect, stray animal is approaching the porch in alignment with who died recently. Or even who died a while ago, but it's the same butterfly that's been around for 5-6 years. So her mind is, so and so died. This thing here is always here every night at 9:00. It comes to the porch. So that's how frequency is how she assigns it.
Okay. Here's my question. Is there anything about the way people live their life that would, like certain characteristics that they would attribute to like what do I got to do to come back as like a jaguar?
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
A jaguar?
You
or like something
big. I like
sexy. Something sexy. I want to be a sexy animal.
Oh, it depends. I don't know what the rule book says in terms of how you have to, what kind of guy you got to be here to get assigned a sexy ass jaguar.
That's what I want, because I feel like I know my luck. It's going to be a toad. They're going to be like, you know that toad that we shoo out the back?
You got to manifest it. I think all part of your praying for whatever you want and be like, and God, can I come back as something sexy, please?
No, I'll embrace the jaguar lifestyle. I have no problems with that.
I'd be scared. I'd come back as like one of those sheep with two faces. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know what you mean.
I'm just one of the faces on like a two-faced sheep, and now I'm just attached to another motherfucker who's just a regular sheep, but I got the consciousness of a man who lived. You know what I mean?
No, there's a lot of do sheeps have two faces?
Well, if you look it up, and I'm sorry to be the one to introduce this to you, but there is a fair amount, or at least it has happened multiple times, of sheep born with multiple heads attached to each other.
Sometimes it's like me and you have different internets.
Yeah, we don't sync up. You know,
No.
These periods ain't mixed in the way that you would think.
Fuck! I hate
it's
it.
fucked up, man.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of what I'm throwing down. Jackie, don't look it up. You're better than this.
Okay.
It's not good.
She's like, no problem. I had no intention on looking it up. I was going to let y'all play your games, and then I'd come back in whenever you're ready.
I also have one more question about this. The negative ones, like, do you guys ever have like multiple negative run-ins with animals? Does that make sense?
What kind of animals? Like
I've been shit on by like 7 different birds.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
It's also good luck, I've heard. I've heard of birds shitting on you means money is coming and your luck's about to get really great. I've heard that too.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory of sorts. It's a little old wives' tale.
But so that could be someone, that could be like my Uncle Solomon or something like that. That could be a positive.
Well, have you noticed that your career has been improving over time?
I think I took all these L's as a child. I don't think I've ever been had a bird shit on me since I've been doing comedy. But like multiple times throughout childhood.
Damn. So was your childhood then at least getting better, or was it like, no?
No, it was very tumultuous. It wasn't great. I was getting shit on by birds. How good could it have been?
Not to mention my home life.
Yeah. All right, well, that's good to know. That could be somebody from my family watching out for me and not just terrible luck.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that. That's a good point. Is it the same bird? They're probably not the same bird.
No,
Different people, different birds.
I'm pretty sure at least 2 or 3 of them were seagulls, but that's the only.
I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't think there's any way that seagull shit is good luck. There's a lot of birds that I'm willing to hear out could be potentially good luck. Seagull shit, that seems as close to demonic as one can get.
I think you're playing me out.
What about pigeons? You think
even pigeons, I could see a level of like decency inside of a pigeon. Pigeons have been used for more decent things. Seagulls are cursed animals.
That's crazy, first of all.
Name one good thing about a seagull.
Name one good thing about a pigeon. It's a sky rat.
Yeah, they used to use them for magic tricks. That's one good thing.
Used to. Oh, because magic's so great. That's
magic's
demonic.
Pretty cool. And
it's
they
demonic.
Can't use them anymore because of PETA. They said, hey, stop killing our pigeons. Pigeons matter too.
All right.
You have been in LA too long. Whenever I see a seagull, I'm always like, ooh, it's probably a beach or something warm and nice nearby.
That's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful bird. It's a harbinger of peace and ocean fun times.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There are seagulls in fucking Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. There's no way you see a seagull and go, the beach, the smell of ocean air.
Most of the time, you associate a seagull with the ocean.
Me too.
Occasionally, you got some hood rats in Brooklyn that you're traumatized by, clearly. But when I see a seagull, I'm like, there's going to be nice, fun times coming up somewhere.
I feel the same way.
The first
I feel the same way.
Yes.
Damn. And I read this book when I was a kid called Jonathan Livingston Seagull, so I think about self-improvement.
Okay. Well, what did Jonathan Livingston have to do with seagulls?
Man, it's such a fucking hippie book. It's about this bird who learns, he gets obsessed with flying and learning to fly better and better and more daring and daring. And then he kind of achieves full consciousness at the end. Is a complicated. I read a lot of weird shit.
What the fuck? Were you high when you picked the book?
No, I was probably 11 years old. So a couple years before weed. Wow. 2 years, Mom. My mom listens.
Wait, okay, so the bird was not named Jonathan Livingston.
He was named Jonathan Livingston, yeah. The book is called Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Okay. Wow. So this is a bird named Jonathan Livingston who goes through this weird journey of self-improvement as a seagull.
Yeah.
All right. If this is what y'all are bought into, I don't know that we're going to make any ground on whether or not seagull shit is cursed. So I hear you. I respect your choice to embrace the seagull shit of your yesteryears.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this, Jackie, before we go to break. So your mother assigns these animals, these people who have passed. You said at the time you weren't necessarily super invested because you were a kid. These aren't people that necessarily matter to you the same way. How much do you believe it now? How much are you bought into this possibility now?
Occasionally, if I see a stray cat that insists on staying stray, they won't even let me feed them or touch them or nothing, and they're always around. And it could be an animal that we despise. I like possums. If I see a possum and I have a gun, I'm going to blow his face off. I don't care.
Whoa.
I don't care.
Whoa.
I don't care what anybody says. They're the ugliest creatures in the world. And when I was living in LA, my apartment complex where I parked my car underneath, you had to open the gate, go upstairs and go to your apartment. There was a possum that was always on that wall. Every night when I would come home from a gig, midnight, 2 a.m., and he would sit there looking at me kind of like, where are you coming from? Like with attitude?
Yeah.
But he was always there. So I'm like, I wonder if he, low key, maybe he's looking out at me, trying to get home safe. And he don't attack me. He don't run. He don't move. I've learned to stop being scared of him. I walk around him. I'm like, he's just there, security. I'm back.
Is there anybody in your life you might have signed this possum to that you might say, oh?
My ex-husband, he died. He had a heart attack when he was playing basketball at 41 years old. So I'm like,
fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So he could be this possum just checking in to make sure his baby boo gets home safe.
Yeah. Well, years ago when we were married in LA, yeah. I ain't had a good animal follow me around in a while.
Me either, ladies.
We got to find this possum and find out if he can hoop. If this possum can play some ball,
That's true. Like maybe
That
not
might
the
be your
5
man.
spot because he's not that tall, but like a strong 3.
Yep. So whenever I see an animal that is in my path on a regular basis, everybody got a squirrel. You never know what. You might not know what's looking over you. You might not even be noticing an animal that's always in your view, whatever.
I've had some late night standoff with raccoons.
Standoffs?
Yeah, I used to mess with this girl who lived across the park from me, and I would be leaving her house late at night, and I would cross Golden Gate Park, and there would several times it would be like I'd be like on the baseball diamond or something, and a raccoon would come upon me, and we'd have like you just like when you're looking at each other, and then you keep it moving, and that could be my grandpa, right?
True.
that could be. What do you think your grandpa is trying to say to you when you're crossing a field and he blocks your path?
Either stay the night. I think he's trying to be like, don't just be creeping out of her house late at night. I think is kind of like, because it was, you know what I mean? Yeah, because she wanted me to stay, and that would be more polite. But I'd always be like, oh, I gotta do something in the morning. I don't gotta do shit in the morning.
Lies. You know what's funny? The block I used to live on, Laurel Canyon Boulevard in Valley Village.
All of the Valley Village. I know.
I lived there 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend, when I lived there, he would come see me after work, whatever, late at night. And he'd be like, Jackie, this is how you know you got some good pussy in this neighborhood. There is no parking.
There's no parking.
Parking at night. And I'm like, you're right. There's a lot of cute girls in this building.
There's no parking, and there is a possum that just sort of hangs out, and somehow you still getting some ass. Good for you, Jackie.
Also, I want the listeners to understand that Jackie just gave a gem of how to find a neighborhood with good pussy, and you guys need to really be appreciative of that.
That is so intelligent of you to notice that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I really appreciate knowing that.
You're a single dude and there's no parking? Yeah, I need to get this crib here.
Yeah, if you can pull up and if you can pull up in front of her building and get a spot, it's trash. You don't want it, brother.
Damn. All right, well, you heard it here first. You got to find that no parking pussy. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Jackie Fabulous and more My Mama Told Me. And we are back.
How is my man supposed to schmeat his meat with this shit, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, we're back here with more Jackie Fabulous, more My Mama Told Me. We're still talking about the possibility that your loved ones and your enemies, it sounds like also your enemies are potentially coming back as insects and animals, stray animals specifically. Are they ever your pets? Is your pets ever a factor here, or is it just loose animals?
No, I've had 2 pets in my adult life, 2 cats when I lived in like Bellflower in LA. And one was one I got as a gift. The other one I found, and she didn't want to stay with me. So I don't know. She was a feral cat. She wanted to be out in the streets. So no.
Oh yeah, they'll do that sometimes.
Yeah, they fake loving you, and they're like, "Nah, I belong out there, girl. I don't belong in here."
Yeah, I can't
Dog,
keep pretending.
you know how many times I've sent that text message?
It's not you, girl. It's me. I belong in the streets.
I belong out there.
I can't keep loving you, girl. I belong out there.
Yeah, I need to roam free. And there's parking right in front of your building. This is never going to work.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a callback. That's the kind of comedy you'll get here at My Mama Told Me.
Yep, just the hits.
All right. I want to jump into this research because one of the things that I felt like was worth starting at, right? Like the best starting place for me was looking to see if there's any scientific validity to the idea of reincarnation, right? Like, is reincarnation in any way proven to be a real thing? And while there's no definitive proof of afterlives or reincarnation, there are a few studies that have landed some pretty jarring discoveries. There's a study from this professor named Jim Tucker at the University of Virginia who studied more than 2,500 cases of children who claim to have memories from their past lives. That's specifically between the ages of 2 to about 7. These kids claim to have very vivid, very detailed memories of who they were before they were the kids that are sitting in front of them, the professor dude, as of today. And more specifically, he tells the story of this one boy named James Leninger. Leninger? I don't know if that seems problematic, but that's the name I'm going with.
That can't be. That can't be.
We're like, hey, oh, wait a minute.
Leininger? Maybe that Leininger sounds more correct. But anyway, this James Nigger kid, he says he remembered being a World War II fighter pilot named James Huston. And by age 2, James reported the kid reported having dreams 4 to 5 times a week, having remembered being shot down by the Japanese. He could recall the exact name of the boat that he flew off of, the location he was killed, and even the name of his co-pilot, Jack Larson. Now,
you expect me to say no that this 2-year-old knew they were Japanese?
No. He wasn't Japanese. He got killed by the Japanese.
That's what I'm saying. You think this 2-year-old knew who the Japanese were?
That's apparently what he's saying.
Don't they say those are the formative years, the 2 to 6, and that where your brain's a big ball of mush?
Yeah, it's developing like crazy.
So somebody got some World War II movies playing in the background. That kid,
his dad watched Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, exactly. They watched period pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's where the story gets crazy, is that his parents did some research and found that all of the accounts that he was recounting did in fact happen, and a real Jack Larson, a real James Huston were killed alongside each other in this attack based on records. And they went on to say that they were not in any way playing anything related to World War II around this kid. He was just 2 years old, so his communication obviously was relatively limited, and his knowledge of the world was relatively limited. And more importantly, they say that these individuals were so obscure that no television show or movies or anything was even being made about them. They were just randos who got killed in the war, and this kid remembered being one of them.
All right, the kid is touched, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah, I have so many questions. Is this like the horse who could count?
Tell me more. I don't know what you mean.
They said they had that horse that people said could. This is real.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, they had that horse that people thought could do math, but what it really would do would look for the keys in the person. Because it would, like, they'd give it a math problem and it would stomp its hooves for the amount of times for the answer. So it'd be like 4 + 4, and it would stomp its hooves 8 times. And what they learned was that it was seeing the reaction in humans when it got to the right number, not like knowing math. So is it like
it would just stomp until everybody freaked the fuck out, and then,
right?
So it can sense our excitement per stomp.
And that's what I'm saying about this probably slow little baby.
Well, I thought he was gifted. You think he's slow?
Oh, we're talking about different kinds of touch. Okay.
I meant touch as in eccentric and, high functioning, amazing, that kind of thing.
Oh, I meant like...
You went the other way?
Yeah, like eating crayons. But that's okay.
I love that you think, if this is because if the analogy you're creating is real, what you're suggesting is the boy is sitting there, he's like, I had a dream. My name was James Huston.
No,
and they're
I'm
like,
saying,
yeah.
I'm saying like, he was like, I had a dream. I was a fighter pilot, What? And that, like I just feel like it's maybe a lot of people want. I don't know. That feels crazy to me. And the fact that a 2-year-old could communicate that. Have you talked to 2-year-olds? They talk stupid.
Yeah, no, they're not bright individuals.
They're not, and it's fine. They have a lot more life, but they talk like dummies. They're like,
Yeah, they
I mean,
can't really say I had a dream, mommy.
my best friend got shot down next to me in a fighter jet. I've never heard a 2-year-old say anything like that. I've heard him say, I made a poopy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's the race of the family? Because if it was a black family and their kid recited all those facts, that kid would be up for adoption.
That's because he's a devil child.
Exactly.
They didn't specify in the article, but I think we all know the race of this.
This is a white
man.
baby. It's not Japanese, that's for sure.
Oh, he wasn't Japanese. He knew who his enemy was, and he made that clear in the study.
You know, this reminds me of when Ellen's show was, harmless. She had a kid on there. She had a
not all political like it was at the end.
All weird now. But when she had she always had young prodigies on her show. And she had one kid three, who could name all the presidents. And Ellen's reaction was, you can do that? When I was 3, I thought my shadow was another person.
Yeah.
She still got it.
She still got it.
She still got it.
They should have never taken that show away from her. She could have done it another 20 years being mentor staff.
I get mad at it. I enjoyed it at first. I'm a traitor kind of. The constantly scaring people, that got on my nerves after a while. Stop scaring your guests and the employees.
It comes from a bad place.
There's a video, and I'll never forget it. There's a video where she scares like one of her like lead producers.
Yes, AP, head of everything.
Yeah, and he's like walking through a hallway or some shit, and she like has like a different. She's not even scaring people. She has a different person scaring him, and he gets so angry in a way that you can tell they don't like each other. Like he like literally like gets scared and he goes, "Stop fucking doing that!" And like it's like, oh, this isn't fun no more. This is just a mean lady doing mean stuff.
I always wondered because for years he would look pissed. And I'm like, is he an actor? Because that's really good being pissed and doing the job after you pissed.
I mean, I get it though. You want to go to work and somebody's popping out every day. After a while, it's like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Halloween makes sense. Do it for the whole month of October. After that, I have to pay attention to my job.
Yeah, like I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and frankly, this job isn't stimulating enough. You know what I mean? For me to forgive you for what you're doing.
At some point, she would have caused a heart attack. I'm sure if it kept on going, somebody would have died.
And maybe that's why they canceled her. Maybe they were like, look, if we don't intervene, someone's going to die on this set. And now we're being held accountable.
Yep.
But if he died, maybe he comes back as a jaguar, mauls him.
One part of my stand-up career that I have not tried to improve was my callback efforts. I do not try because it's too hard. Good job.
Honestly, it's the only skill I have anymore.
I do like the idea of him coming back as a jaguar, mauling Ellen and Portia de Rossi. You got to get both of them.
Yeah. That's a twofer.
And now, what is there, like a silly-ass butterfly replacing Ellen somewhere?
But this is a lesson I've learned because I'm in the business trying to progress. I also respected Ellen and loved her show because her sister-in-law did my headshots and her brother gave me a shot on a pilot years ago. So you see how you always got to remember?
Right.
You want to make fun of people, but hey, however.
Well, the Ellen family didn't do shit for me, so fuck them. That's what I say.
Damn. You're going at the whole degenerate crew. All right.
All connected.
They're burned.
Hilarious.
So, in terms of the basic science behind what's being argued here, although I don't think either of you seem particularly bought into James's story, but the basic science that's being argued, if you remove some of the religious arguments, is that some believe the consciousness of a person can be separated from the physical form, meaning consciousness would not necessarily be dependent on a physical brain in order to survive and could continue after the physical brain and after the body has died.
I get that, right? That idea that energy cannot be created or destroyed, just transferred. Whatever it is that gives you your free will and your personality and all that stuff, it does have to go, that energy does have to go somewhere when you die, right?
Mm-hmm. Theoretically, yeah.
But why into a baby? Like, I mean, I guess if I died, I would kind of, swim into this pregnant lady's pussy or something. Like, I don't know how. What? Well, because that's where it would go, right? It would go into her, that's what happens. That's what we're...
You
Don't make
mean
me feel like that. Don't make me feel like that.
in your brain your consciousness goes up the pussy.
Oh, yours goes down the mouth? I don't understand how else you get in there.
I figured we could pass through bellies by the point that I'm transferring consciousness, but I'm excited to find out I could go up through a pussy. I'm not mad at it.
Well, they say that whenever you have anybody inside of you, whether it's through a birth or a sex, you're getting that energy from that person, aren't you? Everything. Getting everything. You're absorbing all the energy. That's why they say you should, promiscuity can make you depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Because you're taking it all in through the pussy,
much
like the consciousness.
You are. We are the receivers.
Thank you.
That's how we are built. And
that's all I'm saying.
You guys are putting in whatever you're putting in, and you're putting in everything. Your spirit, your mind, your stress, your bullshit, your love, everything.
All kinds of stuff.
Oh, God.
So if that's true, then you are at least considering the possibility, or at least embracing a potential possibility of what James is presenting, right?
I think that yeah, I mean, I know personally, like within my family, and this might be like a West African thing or a Sierra Leone thing, we talk about people from our family coming back in other people. Like my mom says that my littlest brother is her dad. She's like, I'm pretty sure. And like my grandma thought that I was her brother because we had I think it was her brother. We just had weirdly similar characteristics. Like he had like really big flat feet and he never wore shoes and just like weird shit like that. And I don't like wearing shoes very much either. But
she's not at all considering a genetic consistency.
Don't talk about my grandma like that, Langston.
You know what's funny? My father died 5 years ago, and I haven't seen hide nor hair, not a fucking clue anywhere of him. In an animal, an insect, a man, nothing.
Really?
Whoa, he was like, I'm good.
I haven't felt him. I don't have, and when he died, I was the only one in my family who was not falling apart because we kind of grew apart. I lived in LA, whatever. But when he died, I kind of was like, all right, I wonder how he'll follow me or watch me. And when he had one of his blazers in my bedroom when I removed it. So I don't feel anything. And another thing, Langston, you remind me of my father because your name is very regal and West Indian. My father's name was Lincoln. And yours is Langston, and you resemble him. He was a light-skinned man like you. My mom was your complexion. That's why I'm in between. I'm the brown.
Okay.
So
my complexion, you mean a beautiful, rich, deep brown?
Of course, like a berry, like a beautiful succulent berry.
The juice is so sweet.
It's so sweet.
All right, this seems like a different podcast all of a sudden.
You know why? My last boyfriend looked like you. My current one is the color of the homeboy down here.
Okay.
So I feel partial.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll say this: I'd be lucky to be your reincarnated father.
Thank you.
What an honor that would be. So one of the things that I then wanted to sort of like look up, I guess, in relation to this question of animals coming back or us coming back as animals, I found an article that gathered a few stories of people who believed that their loved ones had come back as various woodland creatures of sorts to communicate messages to them. One specifically talked about this lady who was attempting to memorialize her grandmother, right? She's trying to figure out a way to write about her grandmother after she passes. She can't think of anything to say. And then all of a sudden a heron lands on the water near her and like stares at her. And she suddenly has like all these memories wash over her and all these beautiful words that she previously didn't have. And now she claims every time she's feeling lost or uncertain, she sees a heron nearby. Like a heron will just randomly pop up out of nowhere. And she believes that herons are her grandmother. My question is it a singular thing? Like, are we meant to interpret this as like, oh, it's that one heron and any other herons we're conflating? Or is it like, no, I embody all herons. I call dibs on herons from now on.
Like I am jaguar.
I am, exactly. You are the entire population of jaguars.
I think it's just one. I think it's just, in my opinion, for my own superstition, I think it's just one animal. out of the species that's just hanging out with you a lot.
Mm.
Now, because herons aren't like, as far as I can tell, they don't look as different. Like, what's the region she's talking about with this? Like, is it like she lived in Virginia her whole life and all these herons are Virginia herons? Because then it could be the same heron.
Oh, meaning like, is she near a place where there's a fuck ton of herons that are?
I mean, more like regionally, is it all within the same area that she has seen them? Does that make sense?
I would assume so. I can't imagine that she's like at Costco and she's like, where's the sales? And
not like Costco, but like maybe she went to like go visit a friend in DC and she was feeling upset and she saw a heron, but she lives in North Carolina. You see what I'm saying? Like,
what's a heron?
It's got like skinny legs and then like a long sloping beak.
Yeah, it's a bigger sort of bird. It's not like giant, but it's a solid, it's a welterweight bird. Let's say that.
I think it's the same bird.
You think it's the same one that's
they get assignments.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I also think to that point, it speaks to how, and I think we take this for granted, we're all traveling comedians, but a lot of people don't go nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, they be in the same little 3 places every year.
For real.
I took an Uber in Arizona for whatever, and the driver's like, "Ooh, you going to the airport?" And I was like, "Yeah." "Where you going?" "California." "Ooh, I would want to." I'm like, I said, you can go anywhere you want.
It's literally 4 hours away, and you have a car.
Yeah, but some people do. Some people really do have the mentality of, I was born on this block. I work down the street. My lover or boyfriend, whatever, is next block. Why would I? That's the majority of America, in my opinion.
My lover's house has so much parking. Why would I leave?
He's just sitting in the car like, oh, someday I hope to see Tucson. Oh, the things I would think if I ever got to see Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, I felt bad though. I stopped saying like, well, you can go. But I realized you don't know their life story and their finances, and you don't know their history, so you can't be like, well, you can go.
And if you look at the way the Uber pricing breaks down, he can't go. He can't go.
He is in bondage currently.
Yeah. He's a car slave, and
it's like working for the railroad.
I don't know. I've been a broke comic, and I've managed to get a lot of places with very little money.
Facts. I have gotten on a plane with no plan or money on how I was going to get back.
I'm like, this gig don't pay me? I now live here.
Yep.
Damn.
And I hope that they have food at this bar. Otherwise, I'm going to have to steal.
Okay. There've been so many times where my only meal of the day was at the club I had a gig at that night. My only meal.
Yep. And then you get the nice waitress who's like, "Hey, do you also maybe want some wings for after the show?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna marry you, girl.
Yes.
I'm gonna come back."
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Or I've had a club manager be like, "Jackie, you hungry?" And I'll have that one tear come down like, "I am. How you know?"
So, with that, I guess this is a interesting transition, or at least a helpful transition into the. Well, maybe I should save this for after the break. This is a big question that I have, and I don't want to squeeze this in before the break. Let's take a break. We're going to take one more break. We'll be back with more Jackie Fabulous and more My Mama Told Me, and we'll talk about this shit after. Okay? I shouldn't keep talking that way. Bye. And we are back.
Can you lend a nigga a pencil?
Yeah, we're back here with more Jackie Fabulous, more My Mama Told Me. We're still talking about the possibility that your loved ones are raccoons and possums and herons even. Okay, Bori, I know you want to be a jaguar.
Or any kind of big, sexy cat.
Big sexy cat. Jackie, where are you in the resurrection spectrum? Where would you like to find yourself?
Oh, a peacock, clearly.
Ooh, a peacock.
Yeah.
I like to be showy when I want to be showy, and then I want to come in and be quiet when I want to be quiet.
Peacocks
Love
are
it.
interesting because they live in Pasadena. You know what I mean? Like they.
I like Pasadena.
Yeah, that's a pretty good place to end up.
Okay.
They're like these gorgeous birds that could be anything, be anywhere, and they're in South Pasadena.
Right by the In-N-Out. Like, you guys can go anywhere. Why are you here?
What a fascinating bird.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Langston, I want to change mine. I want to be a sea turtle.
Whoa. That's okay. Tell me more. Why'd you switch it?
I don't know how to explain it. I've just always had, like, you ever see something and you're like, it sees you and you're like, I get what you're doing. And it's like, I get what you're doing. That's how I feel with sea turtles. Like, the idea of just like riding warm waves forever, it feels okay. And they get so old, which means that they've clearly like found a pretty reasonable way of living, right?
Yeah.
Like the things that get the oldest are the things that know how to live the best. And sea turtles get old as fuck. And there's always like, there's like a zen to it that I've just always really identified with.
Yeah, I like that. They just keep on going. And
they're just like riding waves. They have this way to move with minimal effort, but it's very efficient. Like it's just like, I like it.
I like that.
And people tell you can enjoy them and observe them, but leave them alone.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, besides the animals that eat them, everybody has a pretty solid appreciation for...
Do animals eat sea turtles? They're pretty high up on the food
big
chain.
One I'm trying to eat everything down there.
I think a shark will fuck up a sea turtle pretty bad.
That's a fight I don't want to watch.
And this actually gets me to the animal that I would have picked. I think I'd go with a killer whale. I think I'd like to be a killer whale.
Interesting.
Unassuming and cute, and then kill everybody.
Yeah, I want to change my attitude in my next life. You know what I mean? I want to be sadistic in a way that I've avoided in my current life, and so yeah, I'm going with killer whale. And I did the other day, Bori, see a video of a killer whale just fucking up a sea turtle in a way that like was
where were you? Why? What?
I wasn't strolling the boardwalk and saw it. I was on the internet.
You thought he was down by Seal Beach and saw one?
I don't know what was going on. Also, you say you want to be sadistic in a way that you haven't in this life. You make it sound like you would like to be sadistic in this life. You just have not chosen.
Yeah, I think after a while you kind of are stuck in the choices you've made, and I'm not going to undo my family and the good that I've created for myself. But if I get to do this motherfucker again, I'm going to play catch with seals' bodies. You know what I mean? I'm going to really become a real sick fuck.
Hopefully this is not an insult, but I can see that for you. Is that?
No, that's sweet. Thank you.
I can see the evil that is there, but you don't use it.
Right, you feel it lurking on the edges.
I feel energy. I feel
He's a good
guy, but that's my choice.
Guys, honestly, this is the nicest thing you could have said to me. I was afraid you would knock this idea down, but you've warmed my heart.
No,
can this be the clip from the episode? Because you're glowing.
You're like finally people who see me.
This feels like something special. So the big question I think I have with all of this is, do you feel like there's any part of this that starts to feel a little icky when we're talking about the assigning of like spirits and pets and all, or not pets, but specifically spirits to animals? I started, as I was going through all of this stuff, I found these people who coined themselves as pet psychics, right? They animal
you found some stupid people?
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that they do specifically is they go and deal with people who just lost pets and start to talk about how they can, like, they're communicating with the animal now, and the animal's going to come back as a new dog that'll be here in 3 years or whatever it is. And some of it starts to feel a little yucky, where it's like, oh, you're taking advantage of people's want for their loved ones or want for that communication by like telling them these sort of like bullshit stories that they ultimately will make true because you told me to.
That shit though is like, that's sins of man. That's not God's fault. Like just because these people are scamming doesn't take away from this tradition, I don't think.
Whoa.
I think it's all creepy. I think everything is creepy. I do. It's creepy, but I think creepy is necessary. Everybody wants things to be black and white and explainable, understandable. I'm very comfortable with the unclear and not having an answer and not having to know. But that's arrogant to me. I'm very good with I don't know. I'm never gonna know. I don't have to know. I'm healthy. Friends and family are healthy. I don't have to have the answers. So I'm okay with the creep quotient of it all.
That's a very centering sort of interpretation of all of this, I think.
Yeah.
I think with that, you can then go oh, maybe my dad will come back eventually as whatever animal. And it's not
I'm going to be honest. Let's not play that game. It doesn't work out.
No, he might. Maybe when I get married again, he might come to that wedding. He didn't go to the first one.
Oh, your dad. Your dad. Okay, I thought you were talking about the proverbial. Because I hope he's a ladybug. I'm gonna step on him. Kill you twice.
And if he come back as a roach, he gonna get burned alive.
Yep.
Well,
smoking on a dad pack.
I was about to say, this is slowly turning into a daddy's issue podcast. I don't know what to do with that. My dad's pretty cool. Big fan.
You resemble my father. I don't know how to act, man.
I hope he comes back as one of those dolphins that just hangs out places and catches fish.
Oh, yeah. They like to have sex, too.
Yeah.
Dolphins?
We had a bit of an argument on this podcast in the past about whether or not dolphins sexually assault people. That's a big, I guess, theory, argument.
I've heard that.
I heard they get freaky. I heard they get inappropriate with swimmers and stuff.
It definitely has happened, but I think statistically evidence shows that they're not, in fact, the rapists that we make them out to be, but just occasionally horny, and occasionally you meet a salacious dolphin.
Are they mammals?
They are. Yes,
so there's no reason why they shouldn't see me or you and not be like, hey.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Okay.
Oh, man.
It's mammal love. Ain't nothing to do with fish and it's all human. Human and mammals. Mammals are humans. Mammals are mammals. We can find compatibility in there somewhere.
I don't like this.
Why?
It makes me so uncomfortable. We're talking about fucking animals. It makes me feel weird.
Mammals and dolphins. You gotta acknowledge that they're not fish, so they can't have the same feeling you do.
Yeah, I don't think that's his issue with it. I don't think he's like, if they were fish, I can't fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm assuming the male dolphins have penises. I've never seen the male dolphins' anatomies. I don't know what they use.
No, I think mammals that got dicks, right?
It pops out.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can fuck a woman or a man, whatever's going on.
I think I'm so scared.
The question is more, should they fuck a woman? And I'm gonna go with the hard no. I'm gonna take the negative.
Why would you assume no? Who are you to tell them what they can? How do you have the right? That's arrogance on your part. They might be you, and we tell them they shouldn't.
Well, then call me an arrogant bitch because I am not.
Also, you don't know. Maybe you love dolphin pussy.
And that's what I'm afraid of, frankly. if that's really what this is, I'm terrified that I'm going to stay away from that and just stick to human.
He's like, I just figured out humans. I don't got time to figure out another.
Come on, dog.
Dolphins got 3 clits.
Really?
No, I made that up.
I was almost like, good luck.
Yeah,
that's too much stress.
I only have 1 tongue. What are we gonna do?
All right. I think we did it. I don't know that a healthier ending is gonna come out of this besides eating out a dolphin as the big dismount.
Who said Jackie, eating out?
Oh, I insinuated.
Oh, did you? Okay. You said playing with the 3 clits. That's not.
No,
but I was like, because I said I only have 1 tongue.
Oh, you have hands. Okay, you're right. It's over, Langston. My bad.
See, look what you did. Now you brought us back in to not finish it well. Look at us.
All right.
Jackie, could you tell the people where they can find you? What cool shit you have going on?
JackieFabulous.com to get all my socials. A Special Menopause is on Amazon and Apple TV and Google. Look it up. It's on the website. And that's really it. No, I'll be at the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego this weekend. Friday and Saturday, 4 shows. Go to my website, get tickets, and holler at your girl. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. Bori, what you got?
Man, come to September 15th. I'm headlining the Elysian in Los Angeles doing my 1-hour show. Some other comedian is doing an hour there that night. I'm not sure who. September 16th, though, come to Denver, Colorado, and see Langston Kerman headline Faded, fadedcomedydenver.com.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And the Elysian, please go see David. And if you're not going to the Elysian, come to the Lyric Hyperion on the 15th, where I'll be doing my hour. And as always, you can follow me at Langston Kerman. And if you want to send us your own drops, your own conspiracy theories, your own arguments about whether or not dolphins have multiple clits, please send those arguments to mymommapod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. That's about it. Bye, bitch.